All right. Welcome, people. How is everybody doing today? My name is Citizen Z from Citizen Z Animations. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. Remember, bring a smile to somebody or smile yourself. You will feel better, right? And I was sitting here and it's raining out, and I just figured, fuck it. People want to hear about the old days. Well, I'm going to give it to you as an animator's point of view and starting with my career in animation. And that was becoming, at first, I was just a model artist, right? I just drew character models. That's all I did. And then once that was accepted, then they tossed me into in-betweening. Because to be an in-betweener, right, you got to be able to do 12 drawings per second. When I first started, I was lucky I could do a quarter of a drawing in a second, right? So, um, and and this is fast because you weren't doing the whole drawing because you still had the main frame and the end frame, right? And you're just drawing the motion, right? Like say it could be wind motion, right? And you could blow those out real easy. But you had a clear sketch of what you were putting down. Um, I'll show you some video and stuff after I get done talking. Um, you had to understand animation principles, timing, spaces, arcs, and the weight of movement. You had to have cleanup skills. All that shit I didn't have, right? I was just some snot nosed poor kid who got a job sweeping the parking lot that one of the cartoon lead artists see me draw every day for my lunch break because that's all I wanted to do was draw. I've been drawing since the age of 5 when my mother first put a piece of charcoal in my hand and said, "All right, if I give you this and a piece of paper, just go away." Because there's 8 of us, man, and it was fucking like nuclear hell. But other than that, I hid underneath the kitchen table and I used to draw on scrap pieces of paper or paper bags or whatever I could find, the floor, the wall, the curtains, the furniture, the carpet. But I love to draw in charcoal. So, anyways, he brought me in. He asked me if I could bring in my other drawings that I had. I had a whole slew of them because that's all I did is draw. So I brought in some character ones. I brought in some still life ones. I brought in, like 3D charcoal drawings and shit like that. And the guy really liked it. So I got hired. So as a character modelist, right? A junior, no good, bottom of the barrel in the sewer under the garbage can, right? Character modelist. That you're only an artist, you weren't an animator, you learn your place in life, right? I was coffee boy. I was you better do as I say because you can be replaced tomorrow guy. It was at first it was these people were fucking horrific. You think that you got trolls on YouTube, you ain't got shit. These people would put you down, they would chew you up and spit you out. And the only reason why they did that is to make you a better artist, right? Better animator. Don't take shit from nobody. But I was fucking 17 years old. What the hell do you want me to do, So I listened and I was Mr. Step and Fetch It, and I was Mr. Go Get My Coffee, and I was Mr. You better draw this and draw this properly because if you don't, you can be replaced tomorrow. That's where I learned to go from charcoal to pencil. Oh, that was fucking hard. Oh my God. going from a piece of charcoal that you can hold in your hand to this fucking number 3 or number 4 pencil, depending on what you had to draw and what the weight of the lead that you wanted on the paper was. It was fucking hard because now I'm holding this fucking stick, right? You're trying to draw with a fucking stick. So it took me, oh fuck, a month of nothing but getting pounded on by the guy who hired me, pounding on every day, 10-hour days, drawing the same fucking model over and over and over and over and over and over 1,000 times. I had to draw the model exactly on how it was presented to me 1,000 times. And you don't think that takes a long time? So by the time they were torturing me, right? I was down to maybe a half a drawing a second, right? That's what it was down to. Because I didn't understand the 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 speed of it. I didn't understand all the shortcuts yet. So they sat me down, they showed me the shortcuts, they showed me how to do motion. They showed me, this is it was basically learn on the job training, right? Sure, you could draw, but let's see if we have it in you to do animation, right? Let's see if we have it in you to do motion. So they showed me how to do the motion. They showed me how to use the clear, we called it um, a clear cheat skeet is what we called it. It was a clear cheat, not sheet, but skeet, because we have to skeet it along the page. You don't understand. These animators were fucking whacked, right? That's why I'm fucking whacked. But we could do the motion. We could zip these out because, and what was nice, it was like a stencil. What we could do for the motion. So we have the main guy, and then we can actually tip the stencil. We have the stencil of the motion. So we were stenciling them in, right? That's how you get 12 pages or 12 drawings per second, because you could stencil the animation from the plastic to the paper. But there were other jobs where there were no stencils, right? That was all freehand. And if you didn't know how to draw at least 6 drawings per minute freehand without stenciling, freehand, then you're out of a job, right? Um, so Inbetweeners back then, you know, they did everything that was between the mainframe and the end frame. So that's basically that in a nutshell. Now, so Paramount, when I got hired, right, was getting rid of their animation department. Who knew, right? Here, we're gonna hire you, but then now you're fired, right? So go find another fucking job. And you know, once I learned it in between, I learned how to do the whole entire process. Um, I wasn't known, man. So I met a man. His name was Ralph Boschke. He's a great man. He did Fritz the Cat. He was my mentor. He liked me and I liked him. I thought he was a great, insane, mad, insane, mad. Yes, insane, man. Well, that's all I can say is insane, because this guy had voices from nowhere he would talk to. He could sit there and have a conversation all by himself, and sometimes he would lose an argument with himself. So I'm just saying he was interesting, but this guy liked me. and he helped me in my career, and he taught me how to study people. He taught me how to, if I want to create motion, right? Yes, I have a key frame and an ending frame, but if we're doing this freehand, how does this person react in motion? So I would have to study people. I'd have to see how many times they blink in an hour, or how many breaths that they took in a half hour. What were all their little um, idiosyncrasies, like little ticks or little movements? How many times did they move their fingers? How many times did they move their hands, right? How many times did they look up? How many times did they look left? How many times did they look right? And once you start studying people, you get to know what they're going to do, and they're predictable. You can predict a person's movements. But that was very important in animation because you want to bring life to the character, right? You just don't want some guy just bouncing down the road like this, with no feeling and no movement. What fun is that, man? Why fucking do that, right? You want flow. You need flow in animation. Um, let's see. But yeah, in those days, I fucking starved, man. I'm telling you right now, as a medalist, I got 3 cents a page. 3 cents. And it doesn't mean that my model would ever see production. You were given an assignment to draw this character. That's when I started to learn how to do a little bit of um become a storyboard artist, which I absolutely loved. But that was later in years. But this was the beginnings of it, because they would tell me exactly what they want. It's like a forensic person, right? Like, you go in and you talk to the forensic artist um on what maybe an attacker would look like, or what maybe um a killer was, right? And they would draw a sketch of the face or of the person. Well, that was almost the same thing, except we weren't talking humans, we were talking cartoons, right? So make a duck that has Woody the Woodpecker's beak, right? With great big eyes, and like a plunger on his head, and 4 darts for his tail, right? That's what we would have to draw. So, I wasn't drawing humans, I was drawing caricatures. So that was interesting. They taught me a lot, man. They taught me a lot. I thank them every day that I'm alive for what they gave me. They gave me a future. They gave me a promise of a future. They gave me, if you work hard, you will accomplish your goal, right? And I feel that they have. I got married. I had a wonderful child. I taught her how to animate. I teach my granddaughter how to animate. I had a wonderful married life for 47 years until she passed. I'm thankful for my life. And something, as a takeaway from all this, I really, really, really want to express this. When you are my age, I want you to think, you may be a young person now watching this. When you are my age, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? How are you going to survive? Because I'm telling you right now, the last time I thought it was 50 ended me up in the hospital, right? I can't do that no more. I have to be fucking mellow and be an old guy, right? I just can't do it no more. And if it wasn't for my pension, I would be broke as shit. So think about that, right? I want you guys to really, really think about that in your head, of what's going to happen to you when you become a senior or you become part of the coffin crew. Think about it. You know, people say, "Oh, I'm going to be dead by 60." Shit, I thought I was going to be dead by 60. I'm still going 19 years later. So I'm just saying, man, think about it. Because why waste your life, man? I've had a beautiful life. I've had some experiences that rocked my world, man. I have met some awesome people. I have met some great friends through the years. Most of them are dead now. But I made great, great friend relationships with a lot of people, you know. And I once I upgraded my career, and after Paramount, I started to live my life like I wanted to live it. I didn't want to be poor anymore. I didn't want to have to fucking scrounge for food anymore. So I really applied myself into this, you know, and I wasn't in it for the notoriety at all. I was not in this at all for the notoriety. My sole purpose in life was to become the best I could be, to give people a smile, a laugh, and a sunshine spot in their heart for just that moment, to drive away the darkness, right? To drive away everything that was fucking bothering you at that moment, to get rid of it, right? Like a shot of overcome joy, laughter, happiness, smile, a memory. That's what I was for. And that's what I've always been for. You know, the money was nice. I'm not going to argue on that, right? The money was very good. But in order to get there, I had to apply myself. I went through weeks sometimes without working at a studio because I did a lot of contract work. But the studios back then, they were packed with people, packed. I'm talking packed, right? And and sometimes you got it, and sometimes you didn't. And if your name was not, you know, known in the back rooms of the industry, like, hey, you know, let's get this Z guy. He can put out at least 10 to 12 pages per second, you know, on stencil movement, or he can put out at least 6 pages, you know, on just freehand movement. And and I'm telling you, you know, people learn who you are. And if you suck, you starved. You starved because people wouldn't. And I worked for multiple studios. I did a lot of contract work, you know, until I did contract work for Harvey. I worked for Harvey. I worked for Disney. I did work for Disney until I met Eric Wells, who who really started my career in the direction I wanted it. But that's for another day on a reminiscing day. It's just a rainy, shitty day, and I just thought I'd talk to everybody and tell you what it was like back when I first started. Maybe maybe my words will help somebody, and maybe they won't. And maybe you think, oh, fucking Bullwinkle's fucking in it again, just rambling a fucking way, right? But you know something? It's it's called preserving memories, ensuring a memory with you guys. So with that, my name's Citizen Z with Citizen Z Animations. I wish you all a wonderful day. Peace, love, and weed. See ya.